Alright guys, so in this video we're checking out the Olight Warrior Mini 2. So basically, this is a very fancy flashlight, and when this company Olight contacted me about possibly making a video about their products, wasn't really sure what I would use this for exactly, and thought, well, what could I possibly use some sort of flashlight on an RC product for? And obviously, you want to use it in some sort of a low light or nighttime scenario. I was considering maybe putting this on something like a 5-inch or 7-inch and trying to fly it at night, but I got this kind of late and didn't have a lot of time to make this video before today, which is the 17th. They have I guess a store-wide flash sale, and they wanted to get this video out, so I sort of jerry-rigged something and put this on one of my RC trucks, the one with the DJI air unit that I made a video about a while back, and wanted to see, is this feasible for, using in an RC product for either driving around an RC truck at night, or possibly potentially for a future video flying around on some sort of a larger drone. So this is a bit of a heavier flashlight. It's high end. Not sure what kind of a metal is, some sort of aluminum or steel. It's very, it's obviously for rugged purposes. It's IPX8 waterproof rated, so you can submerge this up to, I think, 1 meter. I'm not sure exactly for how long that's rated for, but it is that is the rating for it. Although I don't think it's intended to be used for like diving or anything like that, so I wouldn't go particularly deep underwater with this. But you can see it's not too much smaller than the size of my hand. It's obviously not intended for FPV purposes. It's for probably like outdoor use, camping or something like that. Just come with a little clip here, carabiner ring. It does come with a magnetic charging pad here that clips on here on the bottom. So it charges magnetically via USB. And this is a cable. You get a carabiner ring and also a little lanyard hook. So this is the version 2 of their mini series. I don't obviously never tested the version 1, but apparently it has better specs than the version 1. This is a pretty new product. They just recently launched it. It has various different settings in terms of illumination. And then let me just read this off to you, show you in the manual. Okay, so you have these different settings here: turbo, high, medium, low, and moon, and it shows you the number of lumens each one is. So 1750 lumens, and it does have a time limit on each of these settings. So that is the maximum setting and the maximum brightness, and I'll show you this in the demo a little bit later. But yeah, it will only shine for that brightly for 4 minutes, and then it'll drop down to a lower lumen setting. I think it's 500 lumens for up to 206 minutes in that setting. Obviously you can switch setting as well. So the maximum setting is 1750 lumens, up to 220 meters is the furthest that the beam will reach. And then as you go down in setting, these are the different distances that the light will reach. So the flashlight itself is run off of an 18650 lithium ion battery. So you can just unscrew it here, and it's 3500 milliamp hours. So to turn on, you just short press this button here, and you can see a green light there that indicates that it has a certain amount of battery charge left. So you can see that it's on here, and we can short press it again. I'll turn it off, and it remembers the last setting it was on, so I don't remember what this last setting was here. So to change the mode, you long press the button. Okay, so it's obviously going up in illumination. Yes, this is the lowest setting here. This is the low setting, medium, high, and then I'll turn it off. So it remembers the last setting. And then this button back here will activate the turbo setting, which is, I think this is, you can adjust the setting here if you want, but this will turn this turbo setting on like that. You can see this is the brightest. Ooh, and it's quite hot. This light is actually pretty warm. So there is a proximity sensor right here. And so like if you accidentally have this in a bag or something and you turn it on accidentally, this heat will actually probably burn something. Like if it's in your pants or whatever, you might actually burn your leg or something like that. So if it's on for I think up to about a minute, then it detects that there's something blocking the flashlight, or if it's in some sort of a enclosed environment, it will actually reduce the luminosity to a lower setting if you're on one of the higher settings. So that's a safety feature, and that's that little proximity sensor right there. But yeah, finding a way to mount this on like an RC car or some sort of drone could be a little bit tricky. You're gonna have to probably get a little bit creative. So I sort of quickly jerry-rigged something for the RC truck and just put it right over the top of the camera. That seemed to be the best in terms of like pointing it in the same direction the camera's pointing. And yeah, just I'll show you here, basically what the illumination levels look like. It's outside my garage on pretty much it's like not the middle of the night, but it's well after sunset, and all we have is basically like a fairly dimly lit street lights. There are sort of lighting up the street here, and so this is the low setting that you're seeing here. It's okay, it's not super bright, but it could be usable in extremely dark situations, and of course it gives you the longest runtime, of course. But I think medium and high are going to be the more useful, and they're going to last the longest. So this is what medium looks like. Obviously you can see a lot more, and then this is what the high setting looks like, and then this is what the turbo setting looks like, which is obviously the brightest setting, but will also give you the shortest runtime, and it only lasts up to 4 minutes. But it's extremely bright, and if you need to see the furthest distance out, this is a setting you're going to want to use. But I think for practical purposes, you're going to probably want to use something like medium or high. But I think if you're in a flying situation, maybe turbo is probably maybe what you're going to want to use, especially since flight times are shorter anyway when you're flying around. 4 minutes is probably doable, and then it'll reduce down to the lower setting automatically. And here's just a demo of what each of the settings looks like, kind of driving around. I'm just doing little circles here in my street, and it'll give you an idea what it looks like from an FPV point of view. And also I just have another camera, a B-roll camera, just showing what the truck looks like going down the street sideways. You get an idea what the illumination looks like. And I left that camera at a fixed shutter speed and aperture, so I think the only thing that's going to be adjusting there is the ISO. Anyway, you can see here that driving around on the low setting is not too useful. It's a little bit of light, but not much more than what the street light is providing. So going quickly here, jump to the medium setting, and definitely driving around here in the medium setting, you can definitely see more. You can see that for the FPV camera, as the illumination level of the flashlight increases, you get the image of the camera that it produces is much better. So basically, it's a clearer image. You can see more details. There's less grain. When it gets when you're driving around or when you're using these FPV cameras at night, and they're not really night cameras, you get a lot of sort of like grainy images and not a lot of detail, especially in the shadows. A lot of information gets lost. But yeah, as you go from the medium levels to higher and even turbo, on like high and turbo levels, it's almost like daytime, especially in the center part of the beam. You can see pretty much everything, and it's completely clear. In fact, I think turbo might be even a little, maybe even might be overkill, almost too bright, because like basically the street's kind of small, so like when you're pointing at like a nearby object like a house, like the garage doors, they're totally overexposed and way too bright. So yeah, even high is going to be fine for like a smaller area like that. But if you're in an open area, maybe flying around, for example, then maybe the turbo is going to be more useful, especially if you're going to want to see further away. But anyway, I'm more interested to hear from you guys what you think about the practical applications of something like this for RC products or FPV. They have obviously flashlights on their store. They have a lot of other lighting type of products. that may be more appropriate for FPV. I don't know. You know, I'm not really sure, you know, in terms of like of our entire product lineup, what could be more useful. There's definitely more powerful flashlights that might be more useful for flying. I think it's called the Odin. And by the way, everything on the store is on flash sale. I think the 17th, 8 p.m. until the 18th. I think sometime. I'll put it up on the screen here what the details of the flash sale is. And there'll also be all the information down in the video description. So if you want to see everything's on sale and all the things that they're promoting at this time, yeah, check it down in the video description. And they also did want me to let you know that if you use the link and the coupon code, you can get 10% off during the flash sale. I think the 10% off coupon is good pretty much anytime. If you happen to see this video later and you want to still get it, you can use those coupons later. So it's still going to be active. And additionally, I think they also wanted me to mention that there's a couple of, I think, free gifts or something like that that are available during the flash sale if you happen to get one of these products during the sale. And they'll also be linked down in the description as well. But yeah, you know, let me know what you guys think in terms of like FPV at night in the dark. What kinds of things could be useful, and then how would you mount something like this on like a 7-inch or a 5-inch drone? Any suggestions? Yeah, let me know down in the comments below. And yeah, maybe if you feel like there's another product in their lineup that might be more appropriate, I can make a request for that and test it out for a future video. So let me know down in the comments, and maybe we'll see some more of this down the road. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.